Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is early July 2023. We're at the Natchez Trace Parkway Visitor Center in Tupelo, Mississippi, and this was definitely one of the many great visitor centers managed by our national park system in America, and I love them. Very fond of them. You can stop here and get your passport stamp. I collect those myself. And they have all sorts of displays about the Natchez Trace Parkway. And they had a little bit on the Battle of Tupelo, the Civil War battle that happened in this area. But they didn't have a ton. I was hoping they would have more on that. And there is actually another visitor center. It's kind of a private museum. But they've also got a little bit of national park stuff there, including the passport stamps. And that is in Baldwin, Mississippi, which is a great little town. And that is where the Battle of Bryce's Crossroads took place. So, if you're making your Civil War pilgrimage out to this area, you've got to make sure you go to Baldwin. But, you're going to want to spend some time on the Natchez Trace Parkway too. And here is this nice little visitor center with a lot of great displays. We felt that this visitor center was really geared towards kids. It had very much of a hands-on learning feel to it. And while we were there, they were about to do a presentation on 10 things you needed to take with you anytime you go on a hike. And I believe it was going to be, it seemed maybe a 45-minute presentation. And if you completed it, you would get a Junior Ranger badge. And of course, that was geared towards kids. But the lady at the front desk, when I asked about what they had going on there, she assured me that they would give me a Junior Ranger badge too if I wanted to complete it. And I have done that at parks. I have done their Junior Ranger program, and I think that's pretty cool. As an adult or as a kid, I think it's neat that they have stuff like that. And it's, a lot of times, just about any park, they've usually got some sort of, brief tour or talk about, about the trail or about the park or about hiking. And I think that's pretty neat. One thing I did pick up here is they had some really nice prints, like a nice painting that had been made into a nice, kind of large, frameable print, and they had those at the front, and they were giving them away with a donation. So I gladly made a little donation and took one of those prints with me. I thought that was pretty cool. And there's a little display about the Civil War here in the area. This visitor center is maybe 7 or 8 miles, maybe a tad bit more, from the Battle of Tupelo National Park site. It's basically 1 acre that they have preserved in Tupelo that has some monuments and information about the battle. Of course, the Battle of Tupelo happened in Tupelo, Mississippi, and many of the sites are, basically claimed by urban development. And there's a driving tour, but you're not going to see a whole lot of, of Civil War sites. So, and that's okay. They're working with what they've got, and at least they do have a driving tour. There are towns like Franklin, Tennessee, which is the poster child for reclaiming a city. A big battle happened there, and they have realized that people like to come and see Civil War stuff. So they got rid of their pizza shops that were on significant Civil War sites, and they've kind of rebuilt it. The way it would have looked at the time of the battle, and they've done a good job. Several historic structures from the time of the battle are still there too. It would be nice if other towns and other areas thought like that too, but we'll see. But yeah, so Tupelo does have some Civil War stuff to check out when you're down in Tupelo, but you're not going to spend 2 or 3 days there observing and looking at Civil War sites. Anyway, there's the front desk. They had very friendly rangers here, and I chatted with them some, and just a nice place to be. And it's a nice stop when you're driving along the Natchez Trace Parkway. And we probably drove on that for a few hours, and I would like to maybe set a week aside at some point in the future and explore more of the Natchez Trace Parkway. I'll put up a couple of other videos too about that, because it's a very, very pleasant drive to make throughout Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi.